everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here with my week review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. As you can see here, I got it in the beautiful white color. I didn't opt for one of the aura effect colors just because I like to keep my phone in a case, for one, so I'm never going to see it, and two, it reminds me too much of whenever I was a kid, or you see somebody with a mirror reflecting it in the sun. I mean, it's cool that it gives those neat little color effects, but it's just not for me. And I thought that this white color was just stunning and beautiful, and it looked a lot like the ceramic model, so I decided I would go ahead and go with this one. My overall impressions so far are that I really enjoy the device. The S Pen is great. The extra amount of memory and the upgrade over the S10 Plus, it is noticeable, I think. The performance is top notch with the Snapdragon 855. You got these crazy cameras on the back. I'll have some actual photo samples in here later on towards the end when I start talking about the camera. But overall, I think that it's a great device, and it's probably the best Note that's ever been made. Of course, it's also the most expensive Note that's ever been made. And if you didn't get a great trade-in deal on this, I wouldn't recommend spending the $1,099 it takes to get into one of these phones. But I had a great trade-in deal with my S10 Plus. I couldn't really pass it up. And of course, I'm chasing the latest and greatest in phones. So here we are with the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So let's take a closer look at it. All right, so the first thing that you're really going to see when it comes to this is, of course, the color. Now, again, I have the white one, but if you had the aura effect color ones, you would see that as well. It's a really standout device. You clearly see the cameras on the back with the additional sensors, the LED flash. It just looks great. It looks professional. It looks like a Note. And I have to say that the way that this phone feels in the hand is utterly fantastic. I really hate putting a case on it because it's just such a good phone. But at the end of the day, it's a $1,100 phone. I'm not going to jeopardize dropping my phone, cracking it, scratching it, doing anything that's going to harm it, just so that I can carry it around the way it's designed to be carried. Now, the one biggest thing that I think that really has turned me on with this phone versus the S10 Plus is that my ultrasonic fingerprint scanner actually works. It works like a champ. So where it didn't work before, it works so well now. And you don't even have to try. It's not like before where you have to press it like 50 million pounds of finger pressure. It's just great. So I really like that. The facial recognition technology seems to be faster. Let's see here if I can catch it on the camera. So it unlocks super fast. No problems there. Ta-da. So the biometrics on this seem like they're improved. And I have to say that's a good thing because the S10 Plus, my facial recognition was getting laggy. Sometimes it didn't want to work properly. The fingerprint sensor was terrible. So those are two huge wins for me already coming up to the Note 10 Plus over the S10 Plus. All right, so the speaker experience on here is also really good. It's got really good sound. It's super loud. I think that overall the sound experience is probably about the same as the S10 Plus. Some people are saying that they didn't like the sound on the S10 Plus. Or on the Note 10 Plus. But really, I think that it's about the same, especially if you turn on the Dolby Atmos. The Dolby Atmos really makes it louder. So here, I'll let you hear. And it's one of my own videos, just so I can avoid copyright
Hey everybody,
stuff.
welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here with
my
my
Mario hat.
review and first impressions of review of the brand new blue
I
G9
actually
Pro.
downloaded my own video. So I think the sound is nice. It's got a nice complete sound experience. It's very loud. You can hear it whenever you need to, and it's louder than any other modern flagship for 2019 that I've had the opportunity to mess around with. I think it's louder than the OnePlus 7 Pro and also the G8. It definitely beats the G8. So the sound is definitely good on here. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is the screen. So we bumped up to a 6.8-inch Super AMOLED screen, and it just looks nice. It looks gorgeous. It's everything you would expect from a Samsung display. They have the best LEDs out on the planet as far as I'm concerned. I really like the way they look. The S10 Plus was fine. This seems like it's just as good, if not better. The screen space is amazing, and it has, I think, like a 92% screen-to-body ratio, which is utterly huge. I mean, taking a look at it, you can see here, it basically goes edge to edge. So that's what we've been hoping for all these years, and they've got the little peephole cutout camera, which, I can say it takes really good selfies, and the biometric works, so it's fine, and it's less intrusive than the little oval cutout shape on the S10 Plus, so I think we have a win there as well. But the colors are vibrant. You got the Quad HD Plus display. That will affect your battery, though. I keep mine fully maxed out on the Quad HD Plus. I'm seeing about 4 hours, 4.5 hours of screen on time. My battery life has actually been very pleasant. I unplugged it about 12 hours ago and I'm still at 71% battery. Today was not a heavy use day for me. I've got about an hour and a half of screen on time so far, but it's still projected to give me another 17 hours on my, based off my week of projected use, is what the battery diagram is saying on the battery usage. So I think that the battery is a much appreciated improvement, especially coming over from my iPhone 10s, because the battery life is horrendous and it would be dead, by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time I got back from lunch at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I was already in the 30s. So being able to have my phone last me all day long without having to worry about a charger at all, I never have to worry about it. It's great. And then you have the enhanced, it's like 27 watt, 30 watt charging. You get up to the 45 watt charging if you get that special charger, which I'm not going to buy. You don't need it. It charges so fast already. And then you get the 15 watt wireless charging. And then it has like 9 watts of the reverse wireless charging if you want to charge something else. So the charging is a big improvement across the board. You got the gigantic battery, and then you have the reverse wireless charging. So winning on all fronts when it comes to power management. All right, so now since you saw my other video clip, I can't deprive you of my Mario hat, but just so I get this right, I'm going to read off the script because I can only remember so much. It's got the 12 megapixel primary camera, a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 16 megapixel ultra wide. Takes fantastic pictures. As far as I'm concerned, this is the phone of the year when it comes to pictures. They're fantastic. It's got time of flight, 3D sensor, so you can do all the cool portrait photos, plus you can do that 3D scanning effect. I haven't tried that yet. I'm going to, because my son has a 3D printer, so I'm going to test that out, but I haven't yet. It does the Quad HD video at 30 and 60 frames per second, 1080p up to 240, and you can get up to 960 frames per second on 720p. It does HDR10, HDR10 Plus as well. You got your stereo speakers, Dolby Atmos, Bluetooth 5.0, all the bells and whistles. So everything that you could possibly ask for in here. 256 gigs of storage, expandable to 1 terabyte, and it also has 12 gigabytes of RAM and a 4300 milliamp battery. So that's it for the spec portion. But really, this thing is a beast. There's nothing out on the market that even comes close to beating it right now as far as power, performance, and capabilities. It just checks all the boxes in all the right places. I used the OnePlus 7 Pro. I loved it, but it had its shortfalls. I love the LG G8, but it can't even compare to the Note 10 Plus. There's so much added functionality, but all this comes at a price. You're gonna have to pay $1,099 if you want to get one of these things. So is it really worth that much when you're talking about being able to get an S10 Plus for like, 800-900 bucks now? Or are you really missing out on the core experience as the S Pen, which if you don't care for the S Pen, you don't need to get a Note. Then there's the LG G8 that comes in. You can get those for 600 bucks at certain places. The OnePlus 7 Pro less than 700 bucks. So there's a lot of other compelling options that give you the flagship performance that most people need and want and are going to care about, and not have that extra price tag that's associated with it. But like I said, there were some crazy good incentives whenever I got it. I mean, I got 600 bucks trade in for my S10 Plus, which I had already gotten like 600 bucks trade in when I got that on a device that really wasn't worth that much to me. So I feel like I came out ahead. And then they still gave me an additional $200 credit towards buying that S5e tab tab S5e that I got. So overall, so many good things going for it. And let's go ahead and take a look at the camera samples. You can see here I went out in less than ideal weather. I used the telephoto lens once or twice. I got a wide angle lens photo once or twice. Lots of cool pictures that you can see, and really it was just really impressive with some of the pictures that it was able to take. So let's take a look at it. And without further delay, here are the pictures that I promised you. So I did go out and I took a bunch of pictures while I was out and about. You can see the weather is not the greatest, but I think that everything looks so natural. This picture was great with the light and the background with the rain clouds and the seagulls. And then you've got this picture of the Ferris wheel with a wide lens. It just looks so good. I was really impressed. Normally, the photos look kind of oversaturated whenever it comes to Samsung devices and the way they look, but I think that it just took some magnificent pictures and the colors really stand out and they're really sharp, really clear. So great job with the camera by Samsung. All right, so that's all I've got on my review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. As you can see with the slow-mo, the pictures that it's able to take, all around the experience, plus you get the S Pen. There's so much that this phone has to offer, and I think that it really is worth the $1,099 price tag. However, comma, I really don't support the idea of $1,000 phones. I think it's just crazy. But if you can maximize your trade in, if you can trade in something like an older phone that'll give you $600, but it's only worth like $300, you can find ways to lower the prices on things like that. Maybe when Black Friday rolls around, there's lots of different ways. Samsung's always giving you different sorts of incentives to buy it. I think that's a good way to go. Now, if you were to just pay $1,099 out of your pocket for it, that's a really, really hard pill to swallow. That's an expensive, really expensive phone. But I think it's worth the price. It's just expensive, and I don't really condone that much money for any phone. So, having said all that, I absolutely love it. I think it's the phone to beat this year, and the Google Pixel 4 and the new iPhone are going to have some stiff competition when it comes to trying to compete, especially when it has similar price points. And I think they're going to have less to offer for you than what you get in this complete total package with the Note 10 Plus. Totally love it, and I don't even need to say I got it sent as a review model because I paid for it with my own money. So that's my experience. I appreciate the device. I like it. I enjoy it for what it is, and I think it's a solid phone. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.